As a kid, I loved my cars, man. They were my everything. Like, if you were to take one of them from me, bruh, we're having all the smoke, man. Matter of fact, that's going in my history book of people who did something I didn't like. Yes, I was that type of kid. I would remember what you did to me, and I would secretly hold that grudge against you. So you better watch where you stand, man. Hey! I was just kidding. I've learned to live and let go, so you can walk off with that. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't even be surprised if my family, relatives, thought my purpose was something to do with cars. And it's odd cause I don't even have the slightest care about cars now. And if you're anything like me, you don't really care about luxurious cars. You know what I'm talking about? The pricey cars that celebrities flash in front of regular folk for them to idolize the car and bow down in worship. Those cars, nothing. I feel none of that. For me, a regular car will do. I don't even know that many cars. When I'm with my sister, she knows all the names of the glamorous cars. I couldn't care less. If anything, I would take a really old car and give it to Elon Musk so he can electrify it and BAM! But that's besides the point. My point is that people change based on their interests and desires. And what may seem to be your purpose now could just be an interest. It's like when you enter into your teenage years. You change, you hit puberty. You don't spend as much time with your parents as you used to. You search the world, looking for your identity, your meaning, your why for living. To the point you spend 8 months studying it. Is that just me? Unrelatable. For these past 8 months, I've been searching, looking for the meaning of my life. And what sparked this pursuit was this book that my uncle gave me. The book was called Releasing Your Potential by Myles Munroe. At the time, and even now, I was interested in what Dr. Munroe had to say. I don't know, but I developed what some may call a zeal for the kingdom. What's the kingdom? Well, that's a topic for another video. I discovered Dr. Munroe's hour-long sermons on YouTube. He talked about purpose and potential. And that's when I knew I had to learn more. One evening, I was at my uncle's house and I knew that he was one of the many people who were taught by the late Dr. Munroe about the kingdom. So I knew I could get more information about what Dr. Munroe taught. And when I was getting ready to depart, my uncle gave me this book since I asked him lots of questions about Dr. Munroe. When I got home, my heart was burning with the desire to know what knowledge lay dormant in this book. I hoped that I would find out my purpose, find out who I am, and what I should do with my life. But before we got those results, I began reading the book, and with every page flick, it felt like things that I had never comprehended were being revealed to me. I finished the book within a week, and I felt like I was full of knowledge that could turn my life upside down. That's when I knew I had to get more, and I kept on going back to my uncle's house to get books, and that's when my priorities started to shift. I started prioritizing finding out more about purpose and potential. After reading most of Myles' books on the topics of potential and purpose, I began to recognize the gist of his overall message. 1. He stresses that you should be connected to your source, which he claims to be God. He demonstrates the analogy as follows. A fish can't just decide, I'm bored of water. It's time to evolve and move to land. Unfortunately, there are laws and principles that don't permit the fish to live outside of its source, water. The same is true with plants. If a plant decides, I'm tired of my roots being stuck in the soil, it's time to be free! The principles of nature will not compromise for the ignorance of the plant. That plant will die. Now that you get my drift, I know you're probably thinking, how is man's source God? And if we are, how are we not dead yet? Well, if you let me explain, I'm going to give you a little biblical history lesson. I'm assuming you already know the story of Adam and Eve because that will be essential in you being able to understand why God is our source. When Adam ate of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which God forbade him from eating, not only did he sin, which is rebellion against God. And can you see the correlation? The fish rebels against water, the plant rebels against soil, and we rebel against God. When this tragedy took place, the Holy Spirit, the governor, departed from the temple, the house, the body of Adam. Because when he sinned, he declared independence from God, like how America declared independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain, and connections were severed. Why didn't Adam die, you ask? God said to him, if you eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you will surely die. And God is a God of his word. I believe God sees death as the Holy Spirit leaving us due to rebellion, thus making us spiritually dead in God's eyes, since we no longer have his governor helping us. God banished Adam and Eve from the garden, protecting them from eating from the tree of life, so they do not have to live in sin forever. Here's another way you can look at it. Let's say God is a grapevine and Adam is one of the branches attached to the grapevine. When Adam sinned, he committed treason. He declared independence, and connections between him and God were snapped. Thus, the branch of the vine, Adam, is no longer connected to the whole grapevine, which is God. And like a branch of a vine, Adam is slowly dying. That's basically what's happening to the body. Also, when Adam and Eve sinned, they realized they were naked. I believe this is because they lost the spiritual covering of the Holy Spirit when it departed from them. They became more aware of their natural senses rather than the spiritual senses. And yeah, we're slowly dying. I've taken up too much time explaining one point that I'm just going to have to leave you to ponder and make sense of the principles until I release part 2. So here they are. 1. God is a God of purpose. 2. Everything in life has a purpose. 3. Not every purpose is known, like how you don't know your purpose. 4. Wherever purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. 5. If you want to know the purpose of a thing, never ask the thing. 6. Purpose is only found in the mind of the creator or manufacturer. 7. Purpose is key to fulfillment. Thank you guys for watching my animation. Shout out to Tegan for helping me out with the audio. I couldn't have done it without him. Thank you so much. More animations coming out soon. Part 2 will be here. Don't worry, we'll get to it. And thank you.